All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Walks and Wall Street. Today is Saturday, October 28th, 2023, and it was a really beautiful day here in the city. It was about 77 degrees, I think almost 80 at one point in Midtown Manhattan. It was just a picture-perfect day, and it's about time, right? Because over the last, I think, 7 weekends in a row, it's been raining nonstop every weekend. Now, the bad news is, I think, starting around 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe the rain will hold out. Who knows? But tonight, we're going to go all the way down to the West Village. It is Saturday, so the West Village should be pretty exciting. There should be a lot of Halloween festivities going on. I think the only thing that matters is we just need to be very steadfast in going down there because we are running on pretty low battery here tonight. So we'll take a look, a walk around the West Village. We'll have a good time out there, and we'll sort of hang out tonight since it's Saturday. Oh my God, I know. So David Sommers, I see you in the chat. Now I never watched Friends. I was never a big Friends kind of person. I think it was a little bit before my time, but I saw that come across the Twitter feed, or the X feed, a couple minutes ago, I think. I think this was just breaking news that Matthew Perry, Matthew Perry from Friends, I think he passed away, unfortunately, which is horrible. Now, again, I've never watched the show, but still, I mean, he seemed like a really young guy. And, a lot of people love the show. Down on 23rd Street, I believe right on the corner of 23rd Street and Lexington Avenue, they've built a Friends Experience store where a lot of tourists and, fans of the show come all the way into the city to, check out that location. So it's really crazy. It's kind of wild. I mean, he seemed like a really young guy. I'm seeing a lot of the chats go by. Seems like he drowned. I don't know. I don't want to make any speculations. I think it's still too early. We're kind of in the fog of war phase for that. But, just condolences. It's horrible when anybody. It doesn't matter about the age, but I mean, especially when somebody's so young, and it was such an influence, right? It's crazy. It was a big shock, and I've never even watched the show. You know what I mean? So anyway, everybody, hopefully you had a fantastic start to the weekend, and I think we deserved a little bit of a break because last week was just a hammer show every day, major tech company reporting earnings. Pretty much the vast majority of the Magnificent Seven reported their financial results, some better than others. We've covered this in depth on the stream pretty much every day. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about the Markets a Look Ahead live stream. We're going to talk about Apple's earnings that are coming up. Obviously, next week is November. Go figure, right? November already next week. And that means we are going to hear from the Federal Reserve. The next FOMC meeting is going to be on November 1st, and we're going to get an update to monetary policy. So we'll see how that goes. But in general, look, earnings came in all right. I think Tesla was a big disappointment. We've talked about that. Bright spots where I think advertising dollars really ramping up at Meta and at Amazon. And I think Microsoft blew it out of the water with their cloud computing. Continue to gain market share on AWS. So, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But today we'll just sort of hang out and relax. The last update that I do have for everybody here, I've been getting a lot of feedback from the newsletter. So for those of you who don't know, every other Thursday after the market closes, I email everybody, all of the Walks and Wall Street subscribers, I email out all of my equity research for free. I compact it into a newsletter and I send it out to the group. I just updated all of our archived newsletters to feature a voiceover podcast version. I've listened to the feedback. Many of you absolutely love the newsletter, but the number one piece of feedback that I've gotten was, hey Tom, I love the research, I love the newsletter, but I'm just so busy, I don't really have time to read. Can you record it in a podcast format? And so I've done that. So if you scan the QR code on your screen, it'll take you to the link to the newsletter, and it's going to have a play button. If you click that play button, it's going to be a narration voiceover of me reading the newsletter, and it'll be totally audio version. And I get it, right? Everybody's busy, and I think this is going to be an interesting dichotomy because it kind of is like watching the live stream. Not everybody could be here for 2 hours every day. I get that. So all of the most important topics that we talk about each and every night on the stream, it's going to be continued to be compiled into that bi-weekly, pretty much equity research piece and emailed out to everybody with full audio capability. So again, if you want to check it out, just scan the QR code on your screen or type !news, N-E-W-S in the chat, and that'll bring you to our Substack page. And it is fully updated with the podcast and audio version. So let me know what you guys think about that. But I'm going to go ahead and close up my laptop here. We will get started. For those of you who are just joining, we are going to be walking to the West Village again tonight. And I think there's going to be a lot of festivities. It's a beautiful night in Manhattan. It's about 77 degrees, clear skies. The rain is not supposed to come until later, so that's good news. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and close up, and we will get started. Alrighty, all right. Let me clip the microphone on here, and I think we're ready to rock. So what's going on with everybody? Hey, sunshine after rain, what's up? Elizabeth Gill says, so that would be cool to listen to financial news from that way. Yeah, let me know how it works. Again, if you scan the QR code on the screen, punch in your email, you will be able to listen to the audio version. I tried to record it best I could. I recorded it in the office today, and it's so funny because, I was trying to speak as clearly as possible, but also speak very slow. Because, believe it or not, we do have a pretty big audience here that follows Walks on Wall Street, that it's from Brazil, or it's from Argentina, and they're Spanish speakers. So English is the second language, so I want to make sure I was speaking not like overtly slow, but slow enough and clear enough to where our Spanish-speaking friends could understand, right? That was one of the other pieces of feedback I've got. So let me know if you think that sort of tempo, that pace is appropriate. What's up? Vivian Francesca, God bless. Sharon says, hey Tom, hope you're having a great Saturday. Appreciate the audio version. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's going to be good, and I think that's good feedback. I always like feedback, both positive and negative. Anything I can do to make the product better, that's what we're all about. So hopefully that'll make it better. Tommy G is here. What's up? Hey, Rob M says, love the newsletter, love the West Village. Well, that's where we're going tonight. I love the West Village too, and I think it's going to be crazy tonight. It's almost Halloween. The only thing is the battery on my phone is pretty low, par for the course for me. And so we got to put a little bit of pep in our step. We can't get distracted, so let's blast down Fifth Avenue here and get a move on. Hey, Gary Carpenter, what's up? Good to see you. Trop says, greetings from Norway. Welcome everybody from Norway. Says, I have 5 hours left on my night shift. Very cool. Valor Rabbit says, also enjoy your streams, Tom, as it's very relaxing. Thank you. Brian Reed is here. Sally is here. What is going on? Hey, Time Traveler says, thank you, Tom. Love the audio option. Appreciate it. Buy the books is really like the newsletter. I appreciate that. My goal is to make it better every other week. Become a better writer and become a more concise writer. I'm taking this writing course online, and I think I've been learning a lot to cut out a lot of the fluff, particularly if the goal of the newsletter is to be an under 7-minute read. I think a lot of the connector words, a lot of the fluff could be whittled down and be more punctual and precise with the verbiage. It's sort of the goal. Oh, they already have some Christmas lights here up at the Coach store on East 54th. Now, this is actually the Mandarin Oriental Residences. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, Tom, the Mandarin Oriental Hotel is in the Deutsche Bank Tower. So wouldn't you think that the residences would also be in that tower? I think, yeah, I would think that. But it's going to be on the top floor. You have the retail on the bottom here, so you have Coach. And then on the top floors, you have the residences to the Mandarin Oriental. And you also have this interesting dinosaur here, too. The dinosaur is made out of handbags, it appears. Very cool, very interesting. And you're adjacent St. Thomas Church, which is always fantastic. Imagine having one of your apartment units and your bedroom is literally a direct view of St. Thomas Church. It's fantastic. I see our good friend Abdullah is here, Lena Sandoval. What's up? Thanks for joining us as we pass Microsoft here. You know what? Let me turn the brightness down on my phone just so I can conserve as much battery as possible, because I really want to make it to the West Village. Frame Free is here, says, hey Tom, happy to have you back in New York City. Thank you so much. Happy you're back here too. Time Travelers here. I also see our good friend Smee Media, who's down at Q4. What's up? Thanks for joining us. All right, we got to put a little bit of pep in our step. Smee Media says, Tom, are you going to post more apartment tours? Yes. More are coming. They're probably going to be released over the next week. My goal is to get on a cadence and get them out scheduled. I'm thinking every Friday I'll have one. Maybe every Friday at 5:30. Susanna Q4 says, thank you, Tom, for the newsletter. No problem. I'm glad you like it. This is the Cartier store to the left. But yes, in general, the cadence that I'm trying to work around is I just got to fit it into the schedule. And I want to get down to a strict schedule, which I think is going to be good going into Q1 of 2024, right? I can't believe I'm saying that, but we are going into Q4 or Q1 of 2024. I want it to be the stream every night, starting at 8:30 or 9, right? Depending on when I can do it. Then every other week on a Thursday, I'm going to send out the newsletter, the research piece to everybody. And then every Friday at 5:30, I'll have a video tour of one of our newest listings. And we actually have a lot of listings coming on the market soon. And some of these properties are just sick, so amazing. So yeah, I'll probably do that cadence. I just listed one, well, we just listed one in Tribeca. Really nice building, 5 Franklin Place. It's apartment 8A. Really, really nice building, very cool. And one of the main penthouses in the building is occupied by one of the most famous, let's get away from this thing, is occupied by one of the most famous New York Rangers ever. So I'll let you guys read between the lines there. Particularly in Tribeca and some of these newer developments. You never know who's going to be a tenant there, so. Hey, Susan Wilson, what's up? Says enjoy your night walks. Good to see you, Susan. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday. UniJ23, Roscoe Hill says I'm enjoying it too. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Hey, Kathy Lyons, what's up? Susanna Q4 says the audio version is very convenient for people who are commuting. That's the main piece of feedback I've gotten, and I get it. So I will be recording an audio version for every other one, and it makes sense, right? Because I usually listen to audio versions of things as well, at least while I'm sort of following along reading it. So. Now, speaking of Christmas lights, I think that's what they're putting up here, right at Saks Fifth Avenue. This is going to be one of the best holiday light displays in the entire city. It always is. Wow, look at this. It actually looks like they're putting up one of the windows here. Very cool. Now, right now, there's like, what were you guys calling it the other day? Astrology or something like that. There's all interesting astrology stuff, but I believe they're getting ready to put up the windows, the holiday windows here at Saks Fifth Avenue. This is cool to kind of be able to see a behind the scenes look of it. It says Dior, so maybe the window at Saks Fifth Avenue that's going to be at East 49th and 5th Avenue, so the closest right here, is going to be a Dior holiday display. It's kind of unique to be able to see the behind the scenes look of it, right? Now, really late last night, I'm not sure if you guys remember, this is the first time I've ever seen it in all of my years living in New York. Even going back from a little kid, you know, coming into the city. We saw them putting up the Christmas tree on top of Radio City Music Hall last night. And I never knew how they did it before, but it comes in pieces and they put it together and then they have a crane place it on top of Radio City Music Hall. I never knew that, so for those of you who were able to see that last night, I mean, the stream was almost at midnight, so I get it if you weren't able to tune in, but it was kind of cool to see. I know TMB is a serious production team. All right. Hey, Toby Kelly says hello from Ottawa, Canada. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We're now passing the New York City's Diamond District. You can always tell when you're near the Diamond District because you'll see these light posts that are literally diamonds right here. Hey, Joan K says hello, Tom. What's up? Hey Noah, this is Tom. What are your thoughts on putting the audio version on Apple and Spotify podcast? You know what? I want to know your feedback on that. Because I don't really know, I don't know too much about that stuff, but essentially what would I do? Just take the audio clip that I recorded and just put it up there? Is that really all I would do? Because I mean, if that's the case, sure, I guess I could do that. Absolutely. And anybody could upload to Apple Podcasts, right? I'm assuming it's just like a free platform. I'll definitely look into it. Now, here's another, I guess, idea that I was thinking about, is incorporating I would probably have to make a second channel for this. But I would, on Sundays, when I go through my deep dives of all of my, watch lists, and I update my models that I'm building, I was gonna do sort of like a screen record and record that and put that in the newsletter. But I would want it to link back to some sort of a YouTube channel, but not this one, just because it wouldn't fit with like the walking material. It'd be like a behind the desk type thing. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I'm definitely brainstorming some stuff. Ethan R, what's up? Good to see you. Essentially, the bigger it gets, I have bigger plans for it that I think is going to bring a lot of value. So I want to have guest writers on to sort of do like interviews with very notable hedge fund managers on the street that I know who are good friends of mine, and have them do short excerpt posts on the newsletter. Kathleen says we are freezing in Oklahoma. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that. Kathleen, it was 80 degrees today here in New York City. It felt like Miami. I swear to God, I was walking around Central Park today for a little bit, and it was hot out. Like, it was legitimately hot out today, which is great. That's the kind of weather I like, but unfortunately, I think all that's going to be gone by next week. We'll see. Sunshine After Rain is the Hedge Podcast. That's a cool name. Definitely an interesting name. Hey, Michael Vopster, what's up? Storm Rider says, Tom, it's snowing in Denver, Colorado. Wow. Hey, Joseph Hardaway, what's up? We're going to attempt to go down to the West Village tonight. We're looking at One Vanderbilt here. Sharon says you could set up podcasts via the app Anchor. I'll check it out. Thank you for that, by the way. Natasha P says don't spread yourself too thin. You could hire somebody. Yeah, I mean, it's just me talking and doing it. I mean, I banged 2 of them out today and I uploaded it. Yeah, it's essentially just recording an audio version of the existing newsletter, which is up. So let me know what you think of that. No, I haven't. Smee Media says, Tom, have you visited the American Express Lounge at the top of One Vanderbilt? You know, one of my good friends invited me to do that. Actually, one of our viewers from the stream, one of my good friends who lives in Miami. Turns out we actually live pretty close to each other. So every time I go back to Miami, we hang out. but he's going to be back in New York soon, so maybe I'll ask him and see if he can get me up there. Has anybody in the chat been to the American Express Lounge at the top of One Vanderbilt yet? I would love to go. Brad's Brain, what's up? Brad says, Tom, where is this? I love a podcast type deal. I'm a podcast junkie on my drive to work. So Brad, if you scan the QR code on your screen, the Behind the Street newsletter that I send out every other Thursday after the market closes, I've just updated it so it has an audio component. So if you go to the Substack app, and if you just pull up the most recent newsletter I sent out, right, so the research piece that is sent out every other Thursday after the market closes, I just went back and updated it, and now you can listen to it. So you don't have to physically read it. So it's going to be a voiceover narrated by myself, and I just read the entire newsletter and I give some basic market updates. I'm looking to expand that, again, off YouTube on Substack. I think that type of content fits better on Substack because it's more visual. I could upload the financial models I'm working on. So if you're a big podcast guy, check it out and let me know what you think. Again, if you just type !news, NEWS, or if you scan the QR code on your screen, punch in your email, you'll be signed up to receive all of our equity research every other Thursday after the market closes. This is an amazing view of the Stephen Schwarzman building here, the New York Public Library, absolutely amazing. NYC Home says, hey Tom, do you think Yale is a good school to go to if you want to work on Wall Street right out of college? Had a conversation with someone about this, or is Harvard better? Yeah, I think they're both fantastic. If you can get into Yale or Harvard, you essentially have the pick, you're the cream of the crop. You have the pick of whatever you want to do. You know, 100,000%. So if you want to work pretty much anywhere, right? That's what major investment banks, hedge funds, management consulting, and big tech, they tend to recruit from top 50 schools, right? So you could think Ivy League institutions in the top 50. So like Duke, University of Michigan, all that stuff. It's called target schools. And your chances of getting an offer at a major investment bank or consulting company is extremely high if you can get into a top 50. Now, if you can't, that doesn't mean, you know, you can't work at a major bank or a hedge fund or even in tech. But just the statistics show that they try to recruit out of the biggest top 50 schools. But it's not a huge prerequisite. But it definitely helps open the door 1,000%. Hey, good to see all of our viewers from Lima, Peru. I would love to visit Peru. I think that's a very interesting place. Michael Vosburgh is also Princeton University, absolutely. But yes, I would say do it. I'd say absolutely do it. In addition, I'll say this. My take is if you can get into an Ivy League institution, I think the trade-off is very, very good for the money. So even if you're not super wealthy, if you're middle class and you don't qualify for the financial aid, I do think it's a good trade-off to go into debt, assuming you're going to go to an Ivy League school, for the following reasons. You may not get a better education than going to, you know, regular private or a public school. There's debate on that. But it's the people that you're going to be around, right? Think about who sends their children to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Cornell, Columbia. It's extremely, extremely wealthy, very, very successful people who are, you know, CEOs of publicly traded companies. They own businesses, tons of international exposure. So you're essentially paying for the network. And as you get older, right, and as you progress in your career, one of the most important things is building your network, right? Because let's say if you have a really good idea for a company and you want to raise money, well, you can go ask your friend's dad or mom, who may own, you know, a venture capital or private equity firm, to write you a check, or you could just go into business together, right? So that is a very big, I would say, benefit of going to those sort of top tier schools. I think anything below that, you have diminishing returns, and this is just my opinion, it doesn't mean I'm right. But if you can't get into the Ivies, I would opt to go to the cheapest, most inexpensive school possible and just get a degree in something that could provide you a lucrative career opportunity, and you'll be all set. But I would try to limit the amount of debt acquisition you take on to go to school. But I think it is worth it to go into debt to go to an Ivy League, because the payoff down the line in just the networking capacity that you have is really invaluable, in my opinion. I don't know, anybody have any ideas about that? Agree, disagree? Hey, Sabuan says hello, new subscriber here. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to New York City. We're looking at an amazing shot of the Empire State Building. Hey, Hawaii is here. What is going on? Happy Halloween Eve. Hey, Roberts is MIT is even better than an Ivy League. Yeah, so like schools like that, right? I would definitely check that out for sure. I think it's a pretty good trade-off. Let me catch up on some of the comments. Hey, Travelnista, what's up? This is a really cool shot. I know we're not supposed to get distracted, but the Empire State Building is very distracting. Hey, Luke says, honestly, any accredited business school is worth it if you don't have the money. Yeah, I would say so too. I think that's really good advice. Good guy says, I agree for sure. The most important part of college is making connections and networking. And you know what? And you can get creative, right? Because I didn't come from money. So, you know, family couldn't afford to pay for college and things. So if you get a job at a big firm, chances are they're going to pay for your education. So when I worked at AT&T, I worked for, you know, one of the largest telecom companies in the world. They had a program for us called tuition reimbursement. And so long as you took a course in something that could improve your capabilities at work, they would reimburse you 100% for the tuition. So when I worked at AT&T, I was like, I'm gonna go to college and take as many courses as possible because I don't have to pay for it. Wow, look at everybody clanging and banging on the horns here. Easy. Easy, 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 pal. I know. People were saying it was 80 degrees in New York City today. It was amazing. Yeah. frame free says yes. Yeah, I mean, ask your company about tuition reimbursement for sure. Let me just fix the chat. You know, oftentimes, even if you're out of college, right? Even if you graduate, or even if you're coming right out of the military, I would check with your HR department at your company and just shoot your HR director an email. Say, hey, you know, I'm interested in going back to college to take this course. I think it's going to increase my skill set to better do my job and increase operational efficiencies at our company. Would you reimburse me for that? And you'd be surprised, right? You'd be surprised. They may make exceptions, and a lot of people don't do that. You know, if you can prove to your boss or the CEO of a company to say, hey, I'm looking to increase my skill set so that I could better do my job to give our customers a better experience and to gain market share. It's going to cost $3,000, but I want the company to pay for that. I'm willing to put up the capital outlay to take the course, but if I get, you know, a B+ or higher, you know, I would like you to reimburse me for that. You'd be surprised. Your companies will probably do that. Hey Brad, this is Tom Schwarzenegger, has a good perspective in his new book, stressing that we need to also stress the value of blue-collar jobs to young folk. I love the perspective. Brad, please put the link to the book in the chat. I'll buy it. I'll go back and buy the book. And I think you make a really good point too. You know, a lot of those trades careers are very lucrative too. Very, very lucrative. One of my good friends has a son that just went to Local 14, I believe. And Local 14 here in the city is the Union of Operating Engineers. So they'll operate the cranes. It's essentially heavy equipment operators in New York City, right? And those apprenticeships are pretty lucrative. You know, as an apprentice, you're probably going to be making like $45, $50 an hour as an apprentice. And then as you gain seniority in the union, you know, if you're an operating engineer, it's very, very possible that you could be at like $150 an hour, and with overtime, depending on what job you're at, like $175 an hour. Hey Greg, thank you so much for your very generous $5 donation. I appreciate it very, very much. You know, and Brad makes a good point, because a lot of those trades jobs, and I've never done this type of work, but in my friend circle, I have a lot of friends who went into either the civil service or the trades, right? And generally speaking, as we're standing outside of Koreatown, one of my favorite places in the city, you get on-the-job paid training, which I think is really good. I believe more industries should be doing that, right? So if you're a rookie apprentice and you're learning how to be an electrician or learning how to be a plumber, you'll get paid to learn. Like, that's the best trade-off possible, right? You know, I guess as opposed to going to college, you have to pay somebody to teach you a skill. In many of the trades, you get paid to learn a skill, which is really cool. So, yeah, it's a really good idea for sure. And I also think there's a worker shortage for skilled laborers. HVAC mechanics, plumbers. So there's a demand for it too. All right, I really want to walk through Koreatown, but I got to get you guys to the West Village. Very lively out tonight. Everybody's walking around in the Halloween costumes, which looks pretty cool. I just feel so bad for you guys because you're missing out. You guys can't see the Halloween costume I'm wearing. It's unreal. It's unbelievable. It's probably top 3, top 4 costumes in the city today. But unfortunately, you guys can't see it. I don't know how to show you guys. Hey, Eyeglass Lady. Good to see you. What's up? This is Amen Tom about emailing human resources. About training, the worst thing that could happen is that they say no. 100%. I think that's the salesman in me. I always am pitching, always asking, right? And imagine if they do say yes, you're going to get a free education, which is amazing. Hey, Mika J, thank you so much for your very generous and kind $10 donation. This is thanks for the walks, chats, and knowledge. Well, thank you for supporting the live stream. And have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday night. Now, supposedly this company, Blank Street Coffee, they raised a bunch of money. I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative about it, but they have good coffee. They have good coffee, but hey, Estelle says hello, Tom, and everybody. Estelle, thank you for accompanying us on our journey to the West Village tonight. And it's 80 degrees. Well, not anymore. It was 80 degrees in Manhattan. It's probably about 70, but hey, Greg says, hey Tom, if you want the computer to read your text and record it both for free in Windows 10, drag your... All right, I don't think I need that, but thank you so much for that recommendation. I think that's really good feedback. So right on the corner of West 30th Street and 5th Avenue, there's this place called Katten Sushi. I think that's what it's called. Maybe I'm butchering the name. But this place is fantastic, and it's very unique. It's essentially sushi on a conveyor belt. So you sit down, and there's iPads at every single table, and you just punch in your order in the iPad, and then the sushi comes flying out at 1,000,000 miles an hour on a conveyor belt. Well, not 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's a little bit hyperbolic. But regardless, it is so cool, and I've been there a couple times, and it's very fun. So it's a fun restaurant. It's right here on the corner of West 30th Street and 5th Avenue. If you're visiting New York City or you're moving to the neighborhood, give it a try. It's very fun. And it's quite affordable. Everything is the standard, $4.50. So, depending on how hungry you are, you can rack up a pretty big bill. But it's really cool. Really cool place. The construction site that you see directly ahead of us is arguably the most controversial construction site in all of Manhattan. Does anybody want to take a guess as to why? I believe we've covered this before. Hey, Beverly Hill is here. Says, hello everybody, just joined. I had a late night at work. Working. So this is the most controversial construction site right now, in my opinion, in New York City. Right here. Now, I have some very, very strong opinions about this particular site, and I also am very sympathetic, but it does block the best view in the entire city. So as we continue to walk down here, we are going to run into Madison Square Park, 23rd Street and Broadway. I'll talk about that later, but if you look straight ahead, the Flatiron Building is fantastic. And there's all these nice tables and chairs and a beautiful seating arrangement right outside of Madison Square Park. But the view of the Empire State Building is all but totally obstructed now by this guy right here. This big, massive building. Which is unfortunate because look at how gorgeous the Empire State Building looks. And if you've been watching Walks on Wall Street for quite some time, you'll notice the past 2 years, every time we come up on the Flatiron Building, I always take a moment out to show you guys that view, because it's an iconic New York City view. It's probably one of the most photographed areas of the Empire State Building, right from Madison Square Park. And now that photo, well, the view is no longer, it's gone, right? It's done. So it's unfortunate, but hey, Will is here. What's up, Will? This is Tom on the discussion of education/certifications. What do you think about the CFA? I'm sure you probably know people in finance with that charter. I do. There's a lot of mixed feelings about it, but again, here's generally how I conceptualize things. And it may be a little bit controversial, and I'd like to firstly say I don't have all the answers, I just have opinions, and my opinions really mean nothing. I like to be sort of unbiased about that, because I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just talking from my opinions, and my opinions really don't matter, so take it with sort of a grain of salt here. But here's what I'll say about that. I think society today, people have really gotten away from focusing on building the skill set and actually learning something and doing it for the education, right? So here's how I make those decisions on if I'm going to take a course, get a certification, or even get another degree. I ask myself, with the time invested into doing this, is it going to increase my skill set that's going to in turn going to make me more marketable in the open marketplace to help me serve my clients better, and then obviously result in me making more money? And if the answer is yes, I would say do it. If you can get a certification that you think is going to add value to your life, if you think it's going to be able to have you the ability to learn a new skill and help you service your clients better, I would say yes. Where I think things have gone a little bit AWOL over the last couple of years, probably the last 10 years, is people are just doing things for the credential and the degree, just to put a bunch of the alphabet soup at the end of their name, right? So I would say focus on the skill set, focus on the underlying value of what that credential can get you. And if you weigh the risk reward to say, hey, this is going to give me another skill, I'm going to learn a new thing, it'll help me make more money and service my clients better, then I would do it. If not, if you think it's just going to be a little bit of a table talk situation to say, hey, I have all this alphabet soup at the end of my name, then I wouldn't do it, right? I think people need to get very, very critical in making those business decisions, because a lot of people are going into crippling debt, I think, just to check the box and tick the degree box. So in essence, I'd say focus on building a skill, and if you think by going back to college and getting another degree will help you acquire a new skill, in your case getting the CFA, then I would do it 100,000%. I would do it 1,000%. And also ask your employer if they would help fund that venture for you too. Many firms will. Many firms will help take on that cost burden for you. All right, we are now right at the Flatiron Building. Look at that. You'll see the Flatiron Building in the distance. Looks very, very beautiful, but it also has a bunch of scaffolding up there. Hey, Jay Sully. What's up? Good to see you. Congratulations on that, by the way. Hey, Trina, this is so timely talking about this. I have an MBA in marketing, but just enrolled in psychology class. The two go hand in hand, I think. Yeah, if you think that's going to increase your skills and again, make you better service clients, then I would do it 100%. But, in my generation, right, there's been a lot of people that say, oh, I gotta get a master's degree. And then when you ask, okay, why? their response is, oh, but everybody has it now, so I have to get it. You're just doing it for the credential then. Like you gotta go back to the basics, right? It doesn't matter if you have all the degrees in the world. You gotta look at the marketplace and say, what is the marketplace demanding? Okay? And if the marketplace is demanding, I'm just gonna, rattle off, this is just an anecdote, just as an example. If the marketplace is demanding software engineers that are fluent in C++, Sharp, or C++, C Sharp, Node, and Rust, I would go take all of the courses that I could, all of the data science courses I could, all of the computer science I could, that would increase my skills in C++, C Sharp, Rust, and the like, right? If the marketplace demands creatives and copywriters and writers, I would take every single course on writing I could. So that's sort of how I would interpret it. But just don't say, oh, everybody has a master's degree, so I have to get a master's degree, and then have no sort of direction. So I think focus on the skill, focus on building a fundamental skill set, and don't necessarily worry about the credential. Because in the real world, right, the only thing that matters, okay, particularly in the business world, is the P&L. And the marketplace doesn't necessarily care if you're super credentialed out. If you are super, super valuable and you are ridiculously smart and you have a ton of skill sets, you are going to be so valuable, right? Now, the two are not incongruous, right? You can have a million degrees and be extremely, extremely sought after in the marketplace and have amazing, amazing skills. But the same could be said in reverse, right? If you just got degrees in things that aren't valuable. So here's the unfortunate part of the live stream, everybody. Isn't this unfortunate? Look at this. The Empire State Building is all but completely blocked by this brand new development here. Kind of stinks. This used to be the ultimate bang-on view of the Empire State Building, but now it is totally gone. Why? This is Tom's costume as a skater boy. I heard him dragging his skateboard and saw him wearing the costume in the window's reflection. You're 100% right. You're spot on, Hawaii, absolutely. Maybe we'll have to bring out the board a little bit later in the stream. You never know. You never know. Sharon says that's kind of an eyesore. It kind of is. Hopefully they make the exterior of the building pretty, I should say. Hey, love the beaches here. Good to see you. Random YouTube viewer says, I've heard they'll turn the Flatiron building into condos. Yes, they're going to be 40 individualized luxury condos, which I'm happy about. Oh my God, Michael says, heads up, Tom, hurricane headed over to Miami next week. Whew. Well, hoping and praying that it's not going to be horrible. Hopefully it misses us, please, God. Anyway, if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these live streams every single day, starting at 8:30, talking about the financial markets, talking about New York City real estate, talking about excelling and doing cool things from a career standpoint. So if you want to join us, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And also, if you want to receive all of our equity research for free, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen or type !news, NEWS, in the chat. And the Nightbot will drop the link to our Substack, the Behind the Street newsletter, which is now available in audio version. So if you don't have time to read it, you can listen to a narrated version of all of our research covering US equities, global capital markets, fixed income, and real estate. So feel free to scan that and join us over at the Behind the Street newsletter. Hey, love that beach, says Tom. A tip: search the job you want, look at the qualifications portion and eligibility requirements, and then take it from there. There are job series that don't need positive education requirements. Interesting. I will heed that advice. Gary Carpenter says 8:30, you're always late. Well, I'm late on purpose, and I'll spill the beans, Gary, and I'll tell you exactly why I'm late. The reason why I'm late to the stream every night is because every night I see Gary Carpenter saying, oh, this guy's late again, this guy's late again. And I purposefully wait until we're egregiously late just so I could see that comment. Yep. Hey, the Wizard, what's up? Good to see you. All right, let's be steadfast here and go all the way down to the West Village. I think we'll make it just in time. You're gonna start to see a lot of people in Halloween costumes because we are getting very, very close to New York University, NYU. Zabatata is like Tom's wife on the internet. That's freaking hilarious. Let me take a screenshot of that. I'm gonna post that one up on the wall at the office. Gary, I'm just busting your balls, dude. I'm just kidding around. All right, let's walk down here. It feels like Fifth Avenue is a little bit wider down here. Maybe it's just because they took down a lot of the scaffolding, I don't know. But it feels a lot more open, it feels a lot more airy. I think they have taken down some of the scaffolding. Bree Grams, happy Halloween to you too. Halloween's in what, 2 days, 3 days? Oh, look at this. Look at the second floor here. Those are amazing condos. They almost resemble the Soho loft-style apartments. Those are probably 12-foot ceilings up there. That's absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning.
No, apparently you are.
Hey, Dan Sang, what's up? I have not. So Dan, you know what? Maybe we'll have enough time to walk past that tonight, I think. The Blood Manor, which is the haunted horror house. I think it's right off Canal Street. Is that right, Dan? Yeah, I think it's... I actually believe it may be... Oh, look at this car. Right near Franklin Place. Very cool. Michael, that really sucks. I really hope we don't get hit with the hurricane down there in Miami. I really, really hope we don't. You know, I actually have to pick up my Vespa at the shop. So I dropped my scooter off at the repair shop because my chain, I think the belt broke. So I was going up the, I don't know what you call it. Is anybody familiar with Hallover Beach? Well, if not, anyway. So I was driving from Bal Harbour
over that bridge to Haulover Beach, over the Haulover Inlet, right? And I thought originally the engine gave out, but it didn't, because the bike still turned on, and apparently the belt broke. So, thank God, it was just before I was about to get on that bridge. So I pulled off to the side, and I had it towed to the scooter shop, and the guy calls me, he's like, yeah, it's no big deal, you just broke your belt. And I forgot to pick it up. And I forgot to pick it up. So the guy calls me today, and he's like, hey man, you gotta pick up this bike immediately, or else I'm gonna charge you $80 a day for every day you don't pick it up. So I said, listen, I said, I bought 2 Vespas from you. I'm in New York City. I said, you gotta cut me a break. I can come get it November 1st. I can't pay $80 a day. That's just ridiculous. I'm like, you gotta understand and have some compassion for that. I'm sure you'll be fine. And surprisingly, that pitched work. And he's like, that's fine. He's like, just as long as you can pick it up November 1st, I won't charge you $80 a day. And I said, that is so big of you, my friend. I know Alex says, yes, the storage fees. But I bought 2 bikes from that guy. Anyway. But it cost me $80 to fix the belt. And that's pretty expensive, being that the Vespa is $1,200 bucks. All right, new topic. I know you guys don't don't care about that. I won't bore you with my scooter stories. Oh, Alex says I worked at a major motorcycle dealer. They get really picky. Yeah. And I get it, and they're busy, but... Ooh, Bill says, yes, the Haulover Inlet is very dangerous to navigate in a boat. So you know what? You know who I always see? If I have a day off, right, and I'm down in South Florida, one of the things I love to do, because I live very close to Haulover Inlet, like very, very close. It's about 5 minutes away from my house on the bike. So I'll go there, I'll drive there, and you know who I always see? He's a nice guy. He runs a very, very successful YouTube channel all about filming boats going in and out of Haulover Inlet. And a lot of the times he gets these crazy films, this footage of these boats capsizing. Just because if there's like a novice that is operating the boat, they don't know how to operate throughout those waves at Haulover. And it's kind of cool to watch him film that footage. And he does it with the drone. So he flies the drone out all the way into the water and brings it all the way back to shore. It's really cool. I feel like the city is very loud tonight. Does anybody else feel that? I feel like the city is rocking tonight. This is the New School of Design. This is one of the best design schools in the city. I believe it's called Parsons New School of Design. Harry Connors says, my Harley always slipped its chain, but I fixed it myself. You know, what is the cause of that, by the way? Now, I'm not a mechanic, okay? I have very little expertise with this. But, like, what is the cause of that? Is it just regular wear and tear? The guy said mine totally snapped, so there's nothing wrong with the engine. Just the belt obviously needs to be on there to turn the motor to, you know, propel the bike. But I wonder if there's any preventative measures I could take, because I'm not looking forward to spending another $80 if that thing breaks again. BMST says it's the protest. The protest. The protest.
You find a good seller.
All right, so we are on the northernmost side of Washington Square Park. I think it's going to be very, very cool here in Washington Square Park. One of my favorite things to do in the city, particularly on Halloween, is walk around Washington Square Park and just people watch. The costumes are insanity. It's insane. So creative, the costumes here. So maybe we'll see some tonight. Who knows? Hey, AK is here. What's up? I'm trying to find your comment, AK, but I can't find it. Ah. Action Kids, this was extremely loud today. Lots of police. Oops, just missed the comment again. Lots of police activity. There was protests on the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, wow. Yeah, AK. You know what was crazy? So I was streaming late last night, really late, like 10 o'clock. And I just, unbeknownst to me, was waltzing right in. Oh, hold that thought. Guys, look at how cool that looks. These look to be original gas lanterns outside of this building. That's really stunning. That kind of reminds me of the ones outside of the Dakota on 72nd Street in Central Park West. You never really see anything like this anymore. Like very, very seldom do you see those original gas lanterns. It's very Halloween too, very fitting. But no, to your point, I was walking directly down the middle of 42nd Street and we were like, what the heck is going on? Apparently there was a major protest, a demonstration inside Grand Central Station, and they closed the entire thing down. Turns out, when I got off the stream and I went to Google it, there was about 300, I think like 200 or something, 300. I don't know the exact number, but a lot of people were arrested there. And apparently they closed down the place. And when I got there, they weren't even letting anybody in Grand Central Station. Only ticketed passengers were allowed inside Grand Central Terminal. So, kind of crazy stuff going on in the world and in the city. So, I know, I'm seeing a lot of the chats about the gas lantern. Those are stunning. Now, I'm surprised that they're not banned though, right? Because in all new construction, I should say all new development in New York, they've banned the gas hookups. One of the projects that I'm working on, the Conover, our team is in charge of all sales operations for the Conover, 199 Conover Street in Brooklyn, New York. And if you want to come and say hi tomorrow, you can. I'll be there tomorrow, 199 Conover Street. Our open house is going to be from 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I believe that was one of the last standing buildings in Brooklyn that got permission to continue going forward with gas hookups. I think this guy's dressed up as a waffle. That's a cool costume. And this guy's a bee. Ah, and a dinosaur. Very good. Anyway, all right, you know what I think we should bring back, guys? And let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. We have to bring back the Walks on Wall Street Halloween tradition of on the fly Halloween costume rankings. So I give the waffle. He's like a 7.4. I think the waffle was like a 7.4 costume. Thoughts? Hopefully as we get towards Washington Square Park, we'll see some more. But I think 2 years ago, I gave the COVID virus a 10 out of 10. Now, no, not the actual COVID virus. There was a couple dressed up as the Big C, the coronavirus, which I thought was so creative. Maybe we'll see them tonight. They were out every single year since the virus, so we'll see. All right, 2 more blocks. Someone says, have you seen a dog costume yet? I have not. Those are the best though. We'll see, I'll keep my eye out. Hey, NYC Home says, I love the Conover development in Red Hook. Yeah, well, thank you so much. That is our project. So me and my colleague Sarah are heading up all sales for that. We just put 2 units under contract, and I mean, the building is really amazing. The developer is Red Hook Partners. They also do a lot of development in Miami Beach. I won't hint at anything there. But Lee is a really great guy, a really smart guy, amazing developer, great visionary. And the Conover is a very bespoke development. It's about 22 unique condominiums. The place is now over 50% sold out, and I'm really confident that we'll be able to do a complete sellout by Q1 of 2024. I think we'll successfully sell out the whole thing. Our team, at the Kirsten Jordan team, we hold the record for the most expensive listing in Red Hook, Brooklyn history. So it was a big thing when we won this deal. We were featured in the Robb Report. We were featured in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. So yeah, I mean, if you or anybody you know is interested in the Conover at Red Hook, send me an email, give me a call. We will get a deal done, I promise you. All right, guys, this is Washington Square Park, one of my favorite parks in the entire city. Now, if you want to see some of the property tours of all of my listings, just go to my YouTube channel, right? So click the name Walks Wall Street, and you could go to our drop down, and I've created an album of all of our listings, including the Conover, including 74 Grand Street, which is an amazing, amazing loft in Soho. So check it out. Check this out too. This is a beautiful view of the World Trade Center right here from Washington Square Park. There's a lot of people in the park today too, which is nice. Hey, Dahan is here. Says hello from India. Good to see everybody from India. Thank you for joining us. Hey, NYC Home says that's amazing. I keep looking at it on StreetEasy, and it is so unique in my opinion. Architectural Digest worthy. Love the little townhouses and quarter units, and Red Hook is just impeccable. Yeah, so check out, you know what, if you're in the area, let me know. I'll give you, I'll let you in the penthouse 3B. It's stunning, an amazing, amazing property. We just threw a massive party there. If I knew you were interested in it, I would have invited you to the party. It was a crazy party. We had a lot of people there, a lot of brokers there. We got a couple sales out of it, which is good. And I just went to a broker open house for a really good friend of ours, Noble Black, who is one of the most successful real estate brokers in Manhattan. He just won an amazing listing. It's just jaw-droppingly stunning. It is the entire 83rd floor at 157, the first building ever on New York City's Billionaires Row. If you go to my Twitter page and you follow @WalksWallStreet, I've posted some of the videos and photos from that event, it's unreal. That's really the only way I could explain it. It's the entire 83rd floor of 157. Over 6,000 square feet, panoramic views of Central Park all the way to New Jersey. You can see into Connecticut, Long Island, New Jersey, see everything. It's amazing. All right, let's head to the West Village before we get lost here. All right, we will make our way out of, hey, Bill Williams says, what do you think of the TV show $1 Million Listing New York? I don't think it's on anymore. I think they canceled the show, but the first female broker who was cast on $1 Million Listing New York, Kirsten Jordan, that's my boss. So I work for her. And her husband is a really talented and stellar real estate developer from Italy. So he owns a real estate development and small private equity firm who I will be coming on board and working with as well, helping underwrite deals and also search and scout for deals as well. So they're really great people, very smart, and I'm happy to be a part of the team. I don't know if there's a stoplight here or is this a stop sign? Maybe we'll walk down this way actually. I just need to get out of the park because I'm getting a little bit of a contact high. There's a lot of marijuana being smoked over there, which is all right. No, hey, no harm, no foul, but just gives me a little bit of a headache. Look at this guy. I think he's stuck in the mud, this guy. Yeah, somebody says watch out for the laced stuff. Well, I was gonna tell you a story, but I don't think I can actually. One of my good buddies was just promoted to detective in the NYPD. So he tells me a lot of interesting stories, but I think I need to keep, yeah. But yeah, somebody talking about laced stuff could definitely be a little wild. Now, I love the West Village. Who agrees, who disagrees? I love them. It's a nice break from the original, Billionaires Row, 57th Street that we always kind of walk past. But it's so beautiful down here. Look at all these Halloween decorations. Isn't that cool? This is like very, very beautifully decorated. Now, I think Ryan has a really nice listing coming up right here. And I'll try to get you guys in there. I'll send him an email. I know I've been promising that forever. But that is going to be on my action item list for today. For next week. I'm going to email Ryan. And I will get you guys a live stream tour of his listing here, this townhome, because it's unbelievable. I'll have Kirsten poke the bear, if you will. But look at how amazing this listing is. This is an original townhome here in the West Village, but it is completely gut renovated. But I guess we'll stand a little bit further away just so you could see the facade. Now, here's why I give them a compliment. And I believe you'll agree with me. A lot of the new developments that are going up, the developers don't really, I would say this, some of them are not as accommodative to the architectural integrity of the neighborhood. But this looks like the exact original facade, just restored, but the inside is a very modern and futuristic apartment. And I think for a neighborhood like this, you really, really have to be cognizant of the beautiful facade here. All right, let's head a little bit deeper into the village. Victor Bravo says, hey Tom, besides walking, do you practice another sport? Well, I wouldn't say walking is a sport, but I did play soccer all throughout high school and college. And I actually played semi-professional soccer for 2 weeks. But it is very grueling, and guess what? The pay is laughable. You only get paid if you make the roster, and if you make the roster, you get paid a whopping $50 a game. Wow, these are really beautiful here too. Look at this. The facades are amazing. The fire escapes are gorgeous. I think it adds a really nice contrast to the buildings. Somebody says, hey Tom, I'm fairly new here. What did you do before real estate? So if you want to know a little bit about me, if you type !Thomas, THOMAS in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link to my About Me page, and it'll sort of give you my resume there. But long story short, I spent about a decade in tech and telecom sales. Most recently as the director of all enterprise sales for a large managed service provider. And was very successful there. And then sort of cashed out. And now long-term goal is I want to develop high-end luxury apartments in Miami Beach and New York City. That's what I want to do in my long-term plan. I want to get creative. I want to take my time with these pieces. You could think about it like a very, very high-quality craftsman bespoke piece. That's what I want to do. Oh, look at this. And then also, just manage money. It's kind of crazy to think that we were walking directly in front of the Empire State Building just 20 minutes ago, maybe? And it seems like we're so far away now. Now, the spire right to the right of the Empire State Building is One Vanderbilt, which is one of the newest Class A office towers anywhere in New York City. But this is West 4th Street. This is really the main sort of college town. You'll have MacDougal Street to the left. And then all the way down, you can see the World Trade Center. Let's go down here. This is Taylor Swift's old apartment right on the corner here. The only reason why I know that is because one of our viewers pointed that out. I was walking past it in complete oblivion, and one night you guys were like, oh my gosh, you're on Cornelia Street. This is where Taylor Swift lived. I had no idea. Apparently it's right here where the garage is. But also, if you enjoy a lot of the topics we talk about as it relates to the financial markets, real estate, commercial real estate and residential and the like, if you scan the QR code on your screen or type !News, NEWS in the chat, every other Thursday at the closing bell, right when the stock market closes, I email out all of our Walks on Wall Street subscribers my equity research for free. It is a complete research piece that focuses on global capital markets, fixed income, real estate, and now it is available in podcast format. So if you don't have time to read it, all you do is click the link, and there's a play button, and you'll have my narrated voice essentially reading it to you. So feel free to check that out. But this building right here is Taylor Swift's old apartment, which I believe is now on the market for rent. Has a massive garage door too. Oh yeah, Brad's brain. That's right. Brad says, Tom, I'm a Chiefs fan. I get my Tay-Tay filled during the games. Not here too, please. That's hilarious. That's right. I'm not a big football guy, but I do know the Kansas City Chiefs because I think they have, the most talented quarterback of all time, they're saying. Now, again, I don't know anything about football. I just, from the little articles I read, but supposedly this guy, Patrick Mahomes, they're saying he's going to have a better career than Tom Brady, who is on the, obviously, the New England Patriots, arguably one of the greatest athletes of all time. But from what I'm reading, they say Mahomes is going to be the best athlete in NFL history. And he's a young guy, so I like rooting for like the underdog. Now he's probably not an underdog, right? Because he's famous and he's an amazing athlete. But I like rooting for the very, very young up-and-comer guy that's super hungry and that's going to go out and crush it. So yeah, I don't really have a bias in football, but I'll be a bandwagon Chief fan for Brad, I guess. All right, let's continue to explore around here. This is Tacombe. This is actually a pretty good... Let me turn down the brightness. No, I haven't. Joe C says, Tom, have you heard about an NBA player called Victor? No, I have not. Should I know about him? I gotta start paying attention to sports more, guys. I really don't. I just don't pay attention. I should, but I don't. Really, ever since the pandemic, the sports scene has been just dead on me. And that's kind of sad, but it's true. I told you guys I'd like to go to a Rangers game. I'd love to go to a Rangers game. What else? I'd love to go to a Yankee game, but I don't think that's possible anymore because isn't the World Series going on? And I don't think the Yankees are in it. I don't know. One of my friends from the stream, one of our viewers, he was at the World Series the other night, and I think the former president, George W. Bush, was throwing out the first pitch, which reminded me of the most iconic first pitch ever. Now, I don't want to get political. I respect all political beliefs, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, right-wing, left-wing. You guys know I love you all the same. But I think one of the most iconic baseball first pitches ever, and we could probably all agree on this, was right after the September 11 terrorist attacks, where President George Bush comes out and just throws an absolute dart of a first pitch, Yankee Stadium. Now, regardless what you think of him, I don't want to get political, but I think that was very uplifting for the nation. It was very iconic. I know there's a lot of critics and things like that, but I get it. But I think that was the most iconic pitch. Yeah, Stephen Bates says George is evil. I know, I don't want to get into like the politics of it. I understand the sides, but I'm just talking about the memorabilia of it, I would say. The nostalgia of the moment. Okay, let's cross over one. This is 7th Avenue. This is a very famous pizza place called Bleecker Street Pizza. But we'll go uptown. Actually, since we have the light, we might as well take it and cross. Now, behind us is an amazing shot of the World Trade Center. Isn't that an incredible shot? Really stunning view from here.
Don't get mad at me when I've done shit. I've not been rude. I haven't took a leave. You have not.
All right, we'll get away from that. Now it's going to get a little bit quieter. You're going to see some really nice, very kind of like quaint cafes, spots like that. You can see one across the street. Obviously a lot quieter since it's on, well, I should say right off of the main drag, 7th Avenue. Hey, Juan Fernandez from Miami, Florida. What's up? Captain Price says, I only know Brooklyn mostly. Brooklyn's cool. I'll be in Brooklyn tomorrow. I'll be Red Hook, which is very far, right? Not too much transportation, but you know, some people like to kind of be secluded. It's definitely a little bit of a nicer break from the city. Let's check out this outdoor dining here. The good guy. Now watch this drive. That's a great meme, dude. I love that meme. It pops up once a year on my Twitter feed. This is a nice outdoor dining. They've managed to make it look nice because we have so much scaffolding here. This is Arthur's Tavern. It's a pretty lively night. Restaurants seem pretty packed. Very nice. Now tomorrow is going to be our Markets a Look Ahead live stream, where we are going to spend the night talking about all of the major events coming up on the week ahead on Wall Street, so you do not want to miss that. Let's cross one more, so we'll go back in. And this is going to be sort of the main area, the main neighborhood here. All right, I'm trying to scan for some good Halloween costumes. I know it's a little early for that, but my head is always on a swivel, looking for the best Halloween costumes in the city. Oh, look at these guys. All right, chat. What are these things? Oh, they're the flappy inflatable balloon guys and girls. All right, we got to rate the costume. What do you guys think? I'm gonna go an 8.3 on that. What do you guys think? I'm gonna go an 8.3 on that, and then 9.1 for Steve from Blue's Clues. 8.3 for those blow up guys, and then Steve from Blue's Clues gets a higher score. Wow, Stephen Bates is 9. I'm getting a lot of 9s. Yeah, high score. Paul Medius is 10. Hilarious. All right, we need to find at least a couple more really cool costumes before we boogie on out of here tonight. Wow, love that beach. Is 5 out of 10. All right. I'm gonna bet if we go down to the right, we'll get a little bit more higher quality costumes. Heather Smith says 10. Solid. This is the Stonewall. This is probably one of the most famous bars anywhere in New York. This is the start, literally the start, of the LGBT movement here in New York City. This guy's a doctor, or he may just actually be a doctor getting off work. Regardless, 10 out of 10 for Halloween doctors and real doctors. They both get a 10 out of 10. Oh, this is cool, guys. Look at this. There's the Michelin Man on the roof. All right, so you have the Michelin Man on the roof here. A pretty cool spider web. Very festive. Very cool. All right, so let's see what we got on this side. Hey, Lupe, what's up, pal? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight and have a very happy Saturday. This building is really beautiful here. It's all brick, but it's painted white and it has that very bright black outer trim. All right, let me check the battery here. Ooh. Hold on. I think we're gonna conk out here in a moment. Whoops, I dropped you guys. At least it should buy us a little bit of time. I've plugged my phone into my computer. This is Waverly Place. I know my battery's on 5%, but I kind of want to extend the stream and check out some more costumes. I'm intrigued. Oh, I think these are the skeletons that, I forget who the chatter was, but... All right, yeah, these are cool. They look like pumpkins, actually. This is a cool shot with the moon in the background. Oh, I think that's the money shot of the night, guys. What do you think? With the moon in the background, that is so cool. I think they did a good job with that. Somebody says, what is Stay Puft? I don't know. It looks like the Michelin guy. I don't know who Stay Puft is. That's so hilarious. If that wasn't the Michelin guy, that's so funny. All right, let's take one more lap, and I think then we get a boogie on out of here. Somebody says Ghostbusters. I've never seen Ghostbusters. Was that a character from Ghostbusters? That's hilarious. I can only imagine the viewers at home watching. I'm like, oh my God, it's the Michelin Man on the top of the building. They're like, this kid is an absolute idiot. All right, we'll make one more lap around the block, and then we'll call it a day. We need something creative. We need a costume to go out with the bang. I'm not a big movie type guy, if you couldn't notice. But I promise you I'll Google
Okay.
Ghostbusters right at the conclusion of this stream. Hey, Life, Liberty, and Guns, what's up? Good to see you. The Cell Tech. Let's go and watch the Ghostbusters movie. That will be on my action item list for sure.
Tell me it's not right here.
Let's go down 2 more, and this will be close to the subway stop I got to get on anyway.
This place. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see it.
And then has a pretty good of the World Trade Center. All right, everybody, this is where I need to depart. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I think this was a fun stream after a crazy week on Wall Street with all of those earnings. It's good to kind of take one day to just sort of relax. So if you want to support the channel, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We will be going live tomorrow at 8:30 doing our markets a look ahead live stream. If you want to be signed up to receive all of our research for free, as it includes the equity market, the real estate market, fixed income, and the like, just feel free to type !news, N-E-W-S, in the chat, and you will be prompted to click the link, or you could scan the QR code on the screen and either listen to the audio version of our newsletter or read it. So everybody, I will see you tomorrow. Stephen Bate, Joan K. Have a wonderful Sunday. Janice S., all of our great moderators, Wendy England, Everything in Miami, Hawaii, Colton Manning, Western Mass Dave, Sharon. Guys, be safe, get some rest, and I'll see you all right back here live in New York City to discuss the very, very, very busy week ahead on Wall Street. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful Sunday. Take care.